Andrew McCarthy is interested in more than just a good... Listen, he's having no trouble...
Could you say it again?
Feller in the white...
On your screen.
Said earlier, Steve, undefeated.
It's simple for... program on therapeutic fiber was...
Head to Broadway by way of football, boxing,
Good morning, my darlings, and welcome to Good Morning Darlings Live. My name is Mr. Descent, and I am super excited to be back. We took 2 weeks off because, well, one, it was my drag daughter's birthday, and I was thrilled for it. That was a very fabulous and stressful show. If you ever do something like that again, I will kill you. I love you. We also, and then last week I took off because I wanted to, because I was tired, and I had Joshi the next day, and I was running on only a little bit of sleep. Since we last saw, things have happened. I got to see Joshi for free downtown, and then I also got to see T-Pain, and it was fabulous. They were incredible. I wanted to see Pitbull too, but I was exhausted. I don't remember much about getting us home, or we took the bus home. I fell asleep on the bus in drag with my boyfriend. We got home and I slept, ate chicken strips because I don't remember much about it. When I was sober, I was just exhausted. It was wild. But it was fabulous. And also, all you dumb bitches on Facebook being like, oh, y'all don't know how to act. Oh, y'all only went because it's free. Yes, of course we only went when it was free. Y'all are the same bitches that are like, oh, you don't eat the bread when it first gets to the table because you don't enjoy joy in things. You don't feel joy, you don't feel pleasantries. But you know, the Final Four happened, the winner won. I don't know, I don't care about sports. Do you care about sports? Yeah! You were there for the basketball. Purely for the basketball. But we're back. The balloons are here because this is what happens when grapes spoil. No, it was Christy Waters' birthday. We don't know how many more she has left, so it was a really big deal for her. But it was wonderful. I loved her. I did her birthday brunch, and then I did not come to her birthday show because I went to go see T-Pain, and he was incredible. And also, I don't know if y'all got this. Did you know there was free Wendy's, sister? There was free Wendy's at the festival. Yeah, you got in line, and it was like you told them what you wanted on your burger, and they made it, and you got that and a free Frosty. Yeah, so we got free Wendy's 2 days ago.
A drag queen knowing where the free food is?
Girl, they said, you want free food? And I said, yes. Yes, I would like that.
Iridescent knowing where the free food is.
Baby, trust.
Even more surprising.
Girl, trust. I love a deal, especially when it's free. And it was Wendy's, and it was like fresh, so it was good. Not sponsored, even though I look like her twin. But no, it was good. It was fun. We did that. We went one day. I did this thing. It was this photo shoot in this tube for this like locker room bullshit. And they're like, here, you can get 2 free things. And it's like little sample deodorant things. The next day I went back because the camera was good and I'm an attention whore and I looked different. So I did it and they said, okay, so we're gonna give you this little box and you're just gonna fill it with shit. So now my purse looks like I stole from them. It's fabulous. I told my boyfriend we should have gone to Target and ran. See what they did. But yeah, that was this past weekend. I'm excited. If you're watching this next weekend, or the week that you watch this, I will be taking another break from the pod, purely because, oh wow. Ooh. Okay. I got so scared. Bitch, she's like, why is Jennifer Coolidge going on to me? But no, what was it? Yeah, I will be headlining a comedy show to place down the way, and you can come check me out. It's at 9 p.m. next Thursday, or this Thursday, depending on when you see it. It's going to be fabulous. But enough about that. I am so excited for our guest today. I'm going to make her head very big because she deserves all the pleasure. It came to a point where she would make fun of me because every time I would see her in passing, which would be very once in a blue moon, and I'd just say, I'm proud of you and keep walking, but that's all I would say. It wouldn't even be a hi, it would just be a, hey, I'm proud of you. She is the mother of alt drag in San Antonio. If it wasn't for her, it would not be where it is today. And anybody who can test me can kiss my ass because trust me, you weren't there beforehand, you don't know what happened, and she literally built it from the ground up. She is the mother of the House of Eternus, and I love her. She has given so many entertainers opportunities, and she is my OG sister, and I can't wait to see what fucked up shit we talk about. Y'all make some noise for Miss TAINT! In her sparkly, sparkly heels.
Hi.
You look like Silent J.
I don't know who that is.
Bob and Silent J.
I only know Robin Big.
Who's that?
Robin Big.
Robin Big?
Yeah.
Who's that?
From MTV.
What?
The huge black guy and the little short guy. Yeah, everybody in the fucking bar went quiet, right?
Well, they were like that before.
You heard me, bitch!
Robin Big from MTV. Oh, okay.
Right, I got someone to laugh.
They like it when they pay attention.
You know, honestly, I was really happy that we have at least like 2 or 3 people in the crowd tonight that were applauding. I was like really worried that you were gonna have to use the fake like Ellen or Oprah applause.
Girl, why fake it?
Right.
It's audio ambiance.
We wanted to keep it as real as we could to
Well,
actual drag shows.
My favorite thing was, well, a few things about getting her to do this, and I'm very excited about. You've been my dream guest since I started this, but I was always nervous to ask, and I was like, well, you're doing things now, you can promote them.
I love that you finally discovered expectations.
Yeah.
Because those are pretty high ones.
Well, I know. You were one of my, like, I've known you the longest, and I was like, okay, it's gotta be a good one, it's gotta be fabulous. And it will be. But she messaged me, she's like, can you just like send me a list of all the questions you're gonna ask? And I was like, oh honey, you haven't seen the show. And she's like, no. And I was like, it doesn't work like that. I don't even know what I'm gonna ask. There's one question I know that I wanna ask for sure, and that'll come later. But yeah, no, when she got here, she was like, so do you like stream this somewhere? Or I was like, yes, no girl, we're just gonna talk to each other for an hour. Let it die here. We are recording, right?
Yeah.
Is this thing on?
Girl, could you fucking imagine? I would be pissed. Not as mad as you would be, but I would be pissed.
Nah, I'm chilling. I wouldn't be too mad, honestly.
How have you been? You look great.
Thank you so much. You know, I threw on a little trench coat. I was like, got my little coffee, and I came straight over here.
Stunning.
You look great too. I love
Thank
you've
you.
been like sewing all your own costumes
Because
and
I'm poor.
right, and you're wearing that little Eureka hair I got going on.
Damn.
Looks a little fried and sizzled, but hey, we're getting there.
It's fine. I got attacked by a belt sander.
Right.
Girl, on Jocelyn, this is a bust down. Girl, no, you know what's fucked up? Jocelyn put one of my half skirts on, like just like the ones that I wear from the waist down. It's a gown on her.
I love that for her. I mean, y'all could definitely
She wants to. I want her
wear
to
each
fight.
other's costumes.
There was a time whenever, speaking of another short
She's
bitch,
so small.
She is. And somebody who's not as small but equally tiny, or who's also tiny, little baby Stella, way back at
I
Stonewall.
love her.
She's one of the best makeup
She's
artists.
so
in
crazy.
Southern
She reminds me of me when I first started doing drag.
Very that. Except she doesn't throw herself on the butt. Remember that?
Right.
She used to do this thing where she'd throw herself down and land flat on her butt, legs out.
I try to block that out of my memory, honestly.
How many old injuries do you have?
But
with
the
that?
fucking YouTube videos don't ever let me forget.
Girl, why is it when I Google myself, those are the first videos that pop up? And
Right,
I'm like, damn,
so
I'm
I'm doing
fancy.
fucking telephone with horrible choreography at the Silver Dollar on Sinful Sundays with Kiana Lord.
Damn.
It's like 10, 11 years ago already.
Girl, we're old.
Weird?
Yes.
Right.
Well. I don't think you were the age that you said you were when I met you, which is fair.
At all. Not even close.
Not even a whisper. So I was thinking about it and I was like, wait a minute. Something's not adding up. Because the first time I met her, we had a mutual friend, Paige. Love her. She's fabulous. She's married. She's got kids now.
Was Paige really our mutual?
Yes, that's how we met. She messaged me saying, hey, my friend wants to try drag, and I know that you just started. Would you be interested in helping? And I was like, I would like to meet her.
I can't believe that. That's
Yeah.
so funny because my boyfriend actually knew Paige before I did. Before
What?
I knew him.
How
Yeah.
did you know her?
I got a caricature
A caricature done.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
at Trader's
Yeah.
Village.
At Trader's Village.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bitch, that's wild. San Antonio is a small town. I don't care what people say. We are a small town. But what was it? No, so I went to, it was Matthew's house. You were there. And I picked y'all up in my HHR. Back when I could fit people in my car. And we went to the
Now
McDonald's.
it's just full of drag.
Girl.
Well, it's always really been that way.
Yeah.
Mine's starting to look the same, honestly.
Girl, but my excuse is actually like, if something of mine breaks or busts, who am I gonna borrow stuff from?
Right.
Shut up! Whatever you need to do to get through the day.
Right.
But no, so
Autumn Summers.
oh, I miss her. I saw her the other day.
I never met her or fucked with her too much.
Yeah, I yelled at her once and now we're cool.
Right.
It was like a testing thing. I love her now, but she tried it and I yelled back and I don't think she was expecting that because I like to be relatively civil to my elders. And she has done a lot for the community, but also, just because you do a lot for the community doesn't mean you get to treat people certain ways.
I love that when you snap back to sometimes to these like incoherent queens that we have in town, that they just get really shook. They just like do not expect that. But that's kind of like, you know, to go back to like where we started like 11 years ago, kind of like how it was back then too. Like coming up in the San Antonio drag scene, it was not easy for me or you. But right. But I always say, like, especially me, because I always did some weird ass shit, and it wasn't really perceived too fondly from the like mainstream audiences that we had here in town. And
but you did have a cult following like right away. I remember you winning your first talent night at TAINT.
because it was so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even like my drag name, like when I first like discovered what my drag name was gonna be, Miss Taint. Like, who the fuck wants to be named Miss Taint? But hey,
All
that's
capital
me.
letters. All capital letters.
All caps. Very angry.
Very specific.
Even that, it was like a joke, you know? Like, it was very, you know, how funny would it be if you just heard a queen getting announced on talent night with a name such as Miss Taint?
The only girl who's never had their name mispronounced.
No, Easy Breezy mispronounces my name all the time. She says Miss Taint. T-A-N-K.
Well, Bill Ford tough.
Right. More or less.
What was it? I will never forget. This is how she went through life when she started, before people knew her. She'd be like, "Hi, I'm Miss Taint," and they'd be like, "What? Like a gooch?" And it was just that was her tagline every time, because that's what they asked, because they were like, "Wait, what?"
It was so easy for them to understand after you say like a gooch. You know?
And they're like, "Oh, I heard right." But no, so I picked them up.
And then they're like, "What?" And I'd be like a pussy.
Okay.
They'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Because she's what?
That's different.
It's unique. We don't have to worry about people having our names.
Iridescent, yeah.
There is
you're
that
right.
girl on Instagram that is trying to, she goes by Eerie.
Iridescent. I saw another queen here. I mean, and everything's cool. Like I'm whenever somebody has the word taint in their name, like, because I've met like maybe like 2 or 3 different taints around the country, and one of them's like from Georgia, and their name is just Taint, and then another one's from like LA or something. But I had it first. Like I made sure that before I discovered my drag name that it wasn't taken by anyone else.
Hey, pro tip, Google your names.
Right.
Google what you want as your drag name, because some bitch somewhere. How many Anita things are there? There are multiple Anita bumps.
Over probably like 47 in the registry just in San Antonio.
Yeah. It's wild.
But they're all fun. I love Anita. My sister Anita Verga.
I love her so much. I got to do Rocky Horror with her.
Oh, at the Hard Rock,
Yeah,
right?
that was wild. That was a fever dream. What was it like? I told them that made me feel something inside me died. Whenever we were rehearsing in a kitchen, pretending it was a Hard Rock Cafe, and I'm in full costume with no makeup on, pretending I'm Janet. It was something about that broke my spirit.
No, literally. You can't even get a fucking burger, right? You have to just stay in the back all hot and sweaty by the
We ate
kitchen.
beforehand. No, literally at Hard Rock it wasn't horrible. Like I loved it because they were like, "Oh, you get a comped meal," and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be nervous. I'm not gonna eat beforehand." Bitch, give me the fucking chicken strips, and I was just there with my fork and knife eating chicken strips before the show because I was like, "Okay, I'm living my truth."
Wild, and then you're just burping chicken strips throughout the whole entire Rocky Horror.
But in character.
Right.
No, so I picked them up. We go to McDonald's across from South Park, and I get my food and we're getting our drinks and stuff. She fills her cup about halfway with Powerade, and I'm like, okay, this was the time when everyone carried backpacks with them, just in general. And I was like, oh, I guess she's not that thirsty. We sit down. She pulls out this big plastic cheap bottle of vodka, fills up the rest of her cup.
McCormick.
Okay. Oh, more than seasoning. And she just puts the lid on and starts sipping, and I was like, I think we're gonna be good friends.
That's literally the start of Miss Taint and Iridescent.
It was wild.
And believe it or not, I still do that at McDonald's.
Good.
Just fucking with you.
Damn. Wow. I always fill up 2 drinks because I'm extra thirsty. Actually, I don't fuck with McDonald's anymore. Something about it, like, my taste change. It makes me feel like shit when I eat it.
Right. It makes me feel like 3 times your size every time I eat it.
Literally.
Like,
Their nuggets are all right, but sometimes they're not. That's bad. Their fries are not my vibe.
No. I was just talking about this today because I had me some Wendy's when I was at work, and it never fails. Like I was telling my apprentice this because I got a piercing apprentice, and every time that I fucking eat some kind of chicken nugget or some kind of like the end of a burger, and I know that I'm full already, I just like take that last bite because I think, I'm just feeling a little.
You paid for it, you might as well eat it.
Right, and then it ends up being the chewy, like fucking nasty ass piece that you should have just avoided, So, if it's anything that I want y'all to take away is when you're feeling full, stop eating. Iridescent, that means you.
Oh, how dare you. The fucked up part is I don't be snacking. My toxic trait, the reason I am the size I am, is because I don't want to eat chips in the middle of the night. Fuck the popcorn. Bitch, I want a roast. Bitch, let's eat some lasagna.
Right.
I want food. I want a meal.
I love that for you, though.
Double entree.
Hey, I'll do the same shit.
Well, yeah, but you won't gain a thing, you bitch. She's always been the same size that I've known.
No. Actually, I've gained a lot of weight.
Good.
Probably since I stopped doing meth. But, I mean,
That'll do it.
relatable, right? I heard of fucking gas. Don't play like you haven't tried it,
I'm
right?
proud of you, though.
Yeah, no, like I've been sober from meth for years now, and that's honestly like, if it's anything that I want to come on this podcast and say is that there's such like a fucking rampant drug use in the gay community, LGBTQIA plus community, and it's so taboo to talk about these things. But if you don't talk about them, like you don't spread awareness about it, and then it then leads to people feeling like shameful and so on and so on. And when you have shame or guilt with something that you do, you kind of like it opens up the pathway to keep doing it and not seek help. So I have no problem talking about my past drug use. Obviously, it got me to do some crazy ass performances back in my day. But I'm really happy that I can do drag today and not feel like I have to use anything or drink anything. I can just go out and just kind of be my true authentic self, the person that I always wanted to be, without substances and so on. So yeah, I really feel like if you're struggling with any kind of drug use or alcoholism, there are many places and different resources that are here in San Antonio. There's the Center for AA. There's also a lot of different, where is that? Haven for Hope. They have like Cocaine Anonymous, Crystal Meth Anonymous, and so on.
And they really are here to help you. Like, it's a judgment-free zone. They know what you're going through. It's not uncommon at all. Everybody knows somebody who's affected. And I do mean everybody. If you have been to a gay bar, whether you know it or not, one of your friends has done a substance.
Right.
It is.
It always reminds me of that one Jasmine Masters video where she's like in Palm Springs and she's just like, oh yeah, a group of gays came over to me and was just like, do you do Tina? And she goes, oh, of course I do Tina. I do Tina all the time. I'm doing Tina tonight. They're like, no, girl, you do Tina. And she's like, oh, no, girl, I'm not doing that kind of Tina tonight.
She's like, I do Tina Turner.
I do Tina Turner.
Stupid. Oh my god. And I also say that there's the thing that I find that the newer generations of drag have taken the glamour away from drug use, because I was never a drug user ever. Like, it was, and it's once again not holier than thou. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying I never partook because the power of saying no is one of my pleasures in life. I like saying no a lot, and people are just like, huh?
It's a good power to have, honestly. Like, especially the older you get. But I mean, some people are able to say it like when they're younger. That's okay.
Because I remember when we were young, you wanted to try everything just to see what it was like.
Yeah. I always said that I wanted to try at least everything at least once. And there are many things that you should not try once.
Girl. But, I lost my, oh no, I was saying that they've taken the glamour away from it because it used to be, oh, I'm going to go touch up my makeup real quick, I'll be back, guys. And now it's, hey, do you want to do a bump on the dance floor in front of people next to a cop? And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I honestly blame Charlie XCX for that.
Yeah.
Bumping that.
Bump, girl. Great album. Hi, Mimi.
No, honestly, that is a very good album.
Batshit crazy. So, who's Tiffany T?
Right. No, I was just telling my boyfriend Louis that recently that I'm going to be doing a show on May 31st, and I have to reach out to you about that. but I'll just do it now. Would you like to partake in a May 31st drag show at the Arneson Theater?
Yes.
Right?
Oh,
the
shit.
historic Arneson Theater at the La Villita.
Yes.
Yeah, I got offered to curate a drag show there for the Pride San Antonio River Parade. We're gonna be doing some drag, and then they're gonna have bands and so on and so on. But we need to keep those kinds of things like PG. So, but I know that you're a PG queen, and
Yeah.
you're able to do that.
I always say, because my coworkers were like, well, what are you doing? I was like, I tell really dirty jokes, but on the flip side, when they need somebody to be family friendly, I'm the only one who won't slip up.
Right.
But what was it? No, so who was Tiffany?
But yeah,
T?
going back to Tiffany T, I was telling my boyfriend that I possibly might have to put my name on the roster, not as Miss Taint, but Tiffany T. Tiffany T was a persona that I created back in like, I want to say it was like 2017 when I was getting booked with Lindsay Andrews over at Luther's before it was Aikachula. Yeah, so we had to keep the shows family friendly. It was like a Monday night fantasy football family friendly show. And they didn't want to put my name on there as Miss Taint. So they had me as, she was just like, just think of something that isn't Miss Taint. And I've always kind of liked Tiffany Valentine from Chucky, Bride of Chucky, fucking Jennifer Tilly. So I was like, let me just do Tiffany and then T for Taint. So that's where Tiffany T comes from. And she's gonna be making a return literally next month.
Well,
so
see, and not to spill your tea, my daughter wants to ask you to do a gig that's in a public place that all ages, and I was like, would you put her name as Miss Taint? She's like, absolutely. And I was like, are you
Which
fucking
daughter?
Rosa? I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? I was like, bring out Tiffany. She's like, who's that? I was like, oh, you'll hear.
Y'all children don't know who Tiffany is.
Girl. Oh my god.
And y'all make some noise for Rosa for handling all the behind the scenes camera stuff. We wouldn't be able to do this without you, Rosa. Just
See,
know
well,
that.
this is what
bitch.
happened. She said, can I ride with you? And I was like, sure. And then I was like, hey, can you help me?
By the way,
So full disclosure, like for those watching at home, I am fully in pajamas under this, only because I don't know what happened. My stomach was like, hey, I hate you right now. And I was like, I need you to help me with stuff,
you
please.
need to stop watching that RuPaul show. That's what RuPaul be doing underneath the judges table.
Oh my god.
She is at her PJs, just having a ball.
If she could do it and make like 84,000 times what I
fucking
make.
10-inch on dick, just right under the fucking judges
Oh
table,
my
bitch.
god, RuPaul, oh my god. You better work, could you imagine?
Right.
You better sissy that cock.
Having a whole hard on for Crystal, what's her name? Crystal Method?
Oh my god.
DeBarge. Y'all remember that shit, right? She never let that shit go.
Would you ever get on Drag Race?
I always wanted to audition for Drag Race, so maybe I might try it.
Just
one
submit
day.
an old Dracula and I'll just stream the Drag Race.
Right,
See what
right.
happens. Don't even try to re-edit it. Just send it as
The same shit, right?
See what they say. Be like, that's balls.
And in my audition, I'm just like, hey, boulets, but it's also RuPaul.
Just Carson and Ross. Those are the boulets out of drag.
But yeah, eventually, I feel like once I mean, I got a sewing machine and I'm practicing some stuff right now.
I'll help you. It's not. I'll teach you simple things.
I love that.
It is difficult, but also it's not difficult. It's more of like if you have. Do you know how to thread the machine? Okay, learn how to thread it and then we'll talk. Because if you can't thread the machine without having a panic attack, sewing's not for you. And I say that with all the love because it's
Well,
one of
bitch, I'm trying my hardest to get back into drag without having a panic attack.
Well, no,
so that's
no,
like,
you're doing great.
let
I'm
me
glad
just
that
do
you
that.
came back. 'Cause she
Yeah,
quit,
it's
like,
been 2 years.
She's quit like 5 times. When you were in the throes of
4.
Damn.
4 publicly, 5 not publicly.
Because I remember I'm talking morally about, I was just throwing a number out there, you were exact. I remember whenever you were doing shows, and you were kind of going through it, like, remember when you would just swallow paint?
Yes, that time I quit drag.
Yeah. Because you're like, fuck this! Like,
Yeah, that's like when I first started getting more into like the Dragula type of scene. I would do like really crazy acts on stage, and then you know I would have this thing where like I would just buy like those 50-cent paint bottles from Walmart, the acrylic paint, and like I would have like an act where I just wanted to squirt some paint in my mouth and turn around and shoot it at the audience or some weird shit like that, you know.
and she brought a tart to try and make the managers feel like, oh, it's gonna be fine.
It was never fun.
Never, ever, not even a little.
It was
Like
never
the part got the spill part, but what about the parts that shot out because you were a squirter and you just come backstage with black teeth and a black tongue, and I was like, oh.
Right, and I spent the next like 20 minutes in the restroom trying to get that paint off my tongue.
Crazy.
Right, so that early era of Taint, that was like in my early 20s, and then when I was 24, I'm gonna be 30 next week. Yeah, I know I survived this long.
I'm older than I thought I was gonna be too, so we're doing this, girl.
Right, we just every year keeps surprising us, honestly.
Yeah, now if I can only start going thinner while I live, because age is getting bigger, and I'm like, ooh, am I inflating or what?
Maybe you might have one of those storylines where you just get bigger and then you get thinner, like maybe in your 40s.
I'm gonna be
Let's just try in your 40s.
Jesus.
Let's try that.
I'm gonna be the Orson Welles of drag. Hello, everybody. Y'all make some noise.
Right. So anyways, like when I would do the paint shit, like that eventually evolved like into me doing more sideshow acts when I was like 24 or 25, and I would pierce my cheeks on stage with syringe needles filled with paint, and I would pierce both of my cheeks, squirt it into my mouth from the syringes, and spit it out like through my mouth. And I did that like at a handful of shows, especially when the Dragula bitches were getting more booked here. I just really wanted to put my footprint on the map, so the Boulets like knew who I am. And they know who I am. They donated $100 to my dog's GoFundMe when he was dying. So that was really sweet of them. And I'm just waiting patiently. I'm gonna keep auditioning until I get on, or sometimes local queens, they keep trying for something, and sometimes it doesn't work out, and that's completely okay because we have a lovely city full of y'all that make it possible for us to keep thriving and keep showcasing our art. Sometimes we don't need TV shows to thrive in our cities or to even thrive in drag, because I've gotten a lot of opportunities through networking with different kind of people that do drag like me throughout the states, or even doing drag festivals. I did a really famous drag festival called Bushwick in New York City in 2018, and that was the first time that I ever flew on a plane, and I went by myself. I was just a little gay boy, 22, 23 years old, and I just went with one suitcase and went out to New York by myself and got to experience the whole shablam. So, drag can take you to a lot of different places. If anybody's out there that is interested in ever doing drag, reach out to one of us, and we'll be more than help you get guided into the right path, the right clubs or bars, or even like the local drag competitions that we have now. Because we both started off doing drag competitions.
We would do all of the talent nights. We did Drag Me to Fame for a while, and yeah, it was fun. It was great. It's a great way to cut your teeth and really like challenge yourself and be like, that's not my.
The thing that I always appreciate about Drag Me to Fame, regardless of like my time on that, I did Drag Me to Fame for about 3 years, and I met pretty much like my fan base from doing that. A lot of people would see the kind of drag that I did and would want to vote for me, and so then I'd say, oh, I'm coming back and doing drag again for the month of August, come out and cheer for me, because it's like you got to vote at the door, and then you got to text vote, and I don't know what the fuck they're doing now, but it was like a long process. So you really gain a fan base by doing those kind of competitions. I know a lot of people don't do drag to compete, but it really is a way for you to kind of grow in your art and kind of test and challenge yourself to do things that are out of your comfort zone and out of the box for you. I did a lot of shit that I never thought that I would do those weeks of Drag Me to Fame. So, even till today, I have a lot of appreciation for that competition. And whenever anybody comes to me and they kind of ask me, what are you doing? Or what, do you have any advice for a new queen? I always tell them, step your foot in competitions. We got Drag Me to Fame, we got Pegasus Tuesday Talent Nights, we have the Aikachula, and even like the stuff that they're doing like at Paramore, and drag is like so saturated, but it's also so spread out in our city that there's a place for you to try out pretty much anywhere.
And I would say if you're gonna start drag, kind of have a unique perspective. Don't just be like, well, that's not that hard, I could do that. Or she's dancing in thigh highs, so I'm gonna dance in thigh highs in a leotard and call it a day. You need to have some sort of unique perspective, because being pretty is not a talent. Being pretty helps, but it's not a talent.
Bitch, I had that whole mindset when I first started drag, and I kid you not, like the first time I wore thigh highs and I had never tried them on. I was doing a gig at Botanica with all the rocks. Bitch, it literally looked like that fucking YouTube video, Scarlett Takes a Tumble. Like, it was so horrible, like my ankle twisted and everything like that. So bitches, just try on what you're wearing before you go out. I still have that problem today where I'm gaining a little bit of weight. My fucking dress takes like 3 people to get me in backstage.
Well, welcome to my world.
Right. And I knew, like, out of everybody that I know, you would understand that.
Girl tea, no, but what was it? No, it's one of those things of like, also when you're getting costumes or you're trying costumes on, stretch around in it, move in it, jump up and down. You're not gonna be static when you wear it. So if you're gonna pop a seam, it's better to know, okay, it's gonna pop.
Pop a seam or a pop a whole zipper, bitch?
I don't pop zippers that much.
I
either.
pop zippers,
I don't make
bitch.
things with zippers.
Right.
Can't pop something I ain't got.
You said a little moo that looks like a gown. Trust.
This girl, it even has a hood, but I decided my hair was erect, so I was like, okay, we're good.
I love. Do you think your hair's erect right now?
No, erect.
Oh, erect.
Yeah.
Okay, got
Or
it.
my hair has an erection. Oh my god. I really cannot gush about how proud I am of you, because I remember the throwback.
Bitch, I heard you saying that earlier, and every time that you would say that when we were younger, I always was like, this shady bitch. She's fucking, this is some backhanded ass shade, where she just comes up to me in passing and just says, I'm so proud of you, and then just walks away, and I'm like, bitch, you didn't even give me a chance to say anything, but fuck you, you know? But I get it now.
It is earnest.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I don't know, I have a very weird delivery for things, which I found out that a lot of people sometimes don't think that I'm joking, or think that I am joking.
That's called autism.
Yeah, I got this, oh, you kids and your autism. But you know, it's very much like I did mean it earnestly and I meant it truthfully, but it's hilarious that you thought I was being shady. Why is it that when I'm being actual genuine, people think I'm being hateful?
Well, even at that, like, there's just a lot of, like, casting in the community. I thought you hated me. Well, not hated me, but I always thought that you were really fake, like, for a long time. Because, like, you know, we started off as sisters, and then, you know, I would hear things from a lot of other queens, that things you were saying behind my back, or, you know, like, shit that I, like, confided in you with. Here. Ooh, they said cut the mic, right?
Damn.
No, things that I like confided in you with, and then I would hear in passing that like you were telling so and so, or you would be telling people about my business over here. So I was like, for a long time, like I was like, I don't know if I can really trust you, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we were really close at one point when we started, and then we like drifted apart because we both like started doing different kind of drag. But you've always been a weird bitch.
Yeah, no, even when I was trying to do what they were doing at PEG, I was still considered alt. And this is my interpretation of glamour, and they still thought I was alternative.
But I love that we were like two forces that were like, one was like crazy off the fucking walls, that it's like, you know, for a certain kind of demographic, you know, or a certain kind of like fucking audience. And then you were like, you went into the mainstream, but you started doing like weird mainstream shit.
Yeah. I get too bored. It's everything.
Right.
And I'm sorry that you felt, or like, I'm sorry for...
No, yeah, as I got older, I was kind of just like, well, you know, there was a lot of friendships in drag that I lost because I believed certain things, and, you know, there's always those messy
Because there was
bitches.
one individual who, they're not watching this, they're scared of me. To this day, they're still scared of me because they were fucking up your life and stuff. And I'm sure that they said some shit. But I don't remember what I said to them, but they have blocked me on all social media. They are, from sources, are actually scared of me. Not because I was...
Bitch, I'm blocked by a lot of people too. You know that.
But no, this specific person I felt was a very, very negative impact in your life. And I didn't like that because all throughout anything, I've always like adored you. And been, there was that one time, and it was because we were kind of going through it, and it's when we got in an argument about what constitutes art. Because you would just be showing up doing what you
Whatever.
do.
Yeah.
I was like, she knows that this is like not what she wants to do, but this is all the energy you had to do at the time.
Right,
And that's when I was like, laziness under the guise of art is not art. And I remember that being a big point of contention for us.
But it was like, I fully believed that I was like doing drag, just not that, like I just felt like nobody understood what I was doing. And you know, truthfully, I don't think that I even understood what I was doing. I was very like the club kids, you know, like that just go out and what do they say? Just fucking throw some glitter on that hunchback and just go out there. You know, that's not the kind of drag that's really like celebrated here. But it's also like, I feel like here in San Antonio, people just want to see people that are trying. And that genuinely they know when they come out, like, you could look busted as fuck, but you're doing an 8-count bitch with horrible ass makeup, but at least you're trying, you know? You're trying to better and perfect your craft. There was a while where I was very stagnant and that I wasn't trying to better
you would
my
do
craft.
aesthetics, but then you just do a random song. Like it didn't really. You would like have these.
Nothing
looks.
made sense, bitch.
Well, no, and that's why I was like, that's the only reason why it was like, I was like, this is so frustrating because I know you were selling it as high art, and you're like, oh, y'all don't get it, but you would, and the looks, yes, I could understand it for a number, but you would do this very esoteric look, and then just be like, okay, I'm just gonna do this random song.
And the performance
and it
made no sense.
No
right?
sense, and I was like, okay, so because I like to be, I don't know about you, I always like to base stuff off the look. Because I'm like, I want to see the image that I'm going to be presenting and then how that pertains to the song. Occasionally, we'll start with the song and go from there. But that's why I was like, I don't, it's not even like oh, y'all just don't get it. No, I was like, you don't get it either.
Right. I was very much confused like everyone else. But you know, there is something that local queen here that is very well known. Her name is Christy Waters. Right. She once told me, and she was like, listen, bitch, like she pulled me aside after a gig when I was young. I was probably like 20, honestly. And she pulled me aside and she's just like, don't feel like you're ever misunderstood. We just or don't feel like you're being heavily judged or anything like that. We just all want to see Miss Taint be the best Miss Taint that she can be. So if you go out there, just be the best Miss Taint that you can be, you know, just like you know, if you're gonna have crazy hair, make it the craziest hair that you see.
That's what she told me too.
Right, if you're gonna have a crazy makeup, just make it crazier than that, you know, and that always sticks with me today because I'm like, you know, whenever I feel like I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really think that outfit's kind of like giving, I'll be like, oh, okay, Christy Waters told me to be bigger. Let's go bigger. So I'll add something to it, or I'll stone a little bit. That's about it. You know?
No, she told me, she was like, I get that you want to do this whole pinup thing, but you need to like do the extreme of it. If you're gonna do it, go for it. Make
Right, because you're
like,
the pinup plus size queen of San Antonio.
It's plus size pinup. Given to me by Kelly Klein, and I think you were at that show because it was when Jenny was out for a week, so Kelly was hosting.
She came, yeah.
That's how we met her. Was on the Friday shows at Silver Dollar.
Freaky Friday.
Yeah, hosted by Mr. Jenny McCall, who was a huge mentor for me, and
I'm really happy that we started drag at the time that we did because there was still a lot of legends that were here, and there still is. You know, you just got to do your research and appreciate the older queens that have come before us. But Mr. Jenny McCall was like the alternative queen that was probably going to make it on Drag Race eventually, and was like kind of like Attention La Jefa. You know, she was like, they're like the older alternative queens that are from here. But Jenny McCall did the talent nights at the Saint on Tuesdays, and that's where me and Ira started performing. Because we would go out there and try every single Tuesday.
Girl, and then she invited us to do a Friday at some point.
Yeah, because she said that she hosted the Freaky Friday shows at the Silver Dollar, and it was for all weird, kind of different, anything that
Jessica Daniels,
anybody wanted to try.
Who else? I think that was it.
Natalie McCall.
Natalie, Sasha Taylor, way back, the throwback. That was the first show I ever saw, but it was before Jenny had been hosting.
I remember I asked Jenny if I could do a Freaky Friday show, and it was like a couple of weeks before they passed, and she said, yes, girl, I love me some Miss Taint, come through.
And Kelly always talked about how Jenny always wanted to bring you to Austin. Always. She's like, oh, Austin will love her, and they do. For the most part.
For the most part.
most part.
I feel like that's like every city here.
Girl, I always get in trouble on Twitter because the girls in Austin would love to subtweet each other. I'm like, girl, just hit her. Fuck this. Fight already. You'll feel better.
I don't know how San Antonio bitches
Y'all can go
do it,
drink,
but-
you hit each other, and then you go for shots.
Y'all gotta be careful hitting bitches, though. I will say that. You don't want to fuck up your life and get charged, you know, because that kind of shit stays on your record, and you're like pretty much fucked for a nice paying job after that. So as
Don't fight
much
somebody without
fun and
warrants.
as cool as it is to say, oh, go fuck her up. That's how we used to do it back then in the dressing rooms and shit like that. Just walk away, or you know, go next door and go buy yourself a dildo. We have zebras right behind us.
And I do actively advocate for nonviolence in general because I feel like psychological wounds last longer than physical scars. But no, I don't know. It's very, I don't know. It's interesting to see what the girls are fighting over nowadays. It's very bizarre.
It's very trivial, honestly, but it reminds me of the stuff that we would fight over back then
petty.
too. This is, you know, who has better costumes or who could do a 360 jump split off of the stage without breaking their hips.
Girl,
or
the way
their
the
legs.
girls do tricks now, I would have never had a career. I would have never done nothing.
Right. That
Girl.
at a certain point, like in my 11 years of doing drag, I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm cut out for talent nights no more. I would never win that shit nowadays because they all do fucking 360 jump splits, fucking cartwheels into splits. Girl, I
And
would die if I
beautiful
did
from the
that.
get-go, stunning from the get-go.
Right.
And most of them are nice. It's fabulous.
I honestly blame RuPaul's Drag Race for that though.
Yeah.
And that's not even a bad thing though. You know, they start early. A lot of them start at like 14, 15, 16 years old. And by the time they're able to go to bars at 18, or some of them go before that, you know, they're just superstars already. So it's really cool to see that.
It's fabulous. I think it's incredible.
That's how Georgia started, and she got on Drag Race, and she got asked back to do All Stars as well. So.
My sister.
You remember when we used to do shows at Luther's together, me and
Girl,
Georgia?
that was wild. I don't know. Our lineups have been fabulous. We've gotten to work with a lot. I don't know. I was gonna say this earlier about because you touched on all the accomplishments that you've had and how Dragula is one of them, but you still feel successful. Success is defined by the person, not by people. So if you are achieving your goals, you are a success. It doesn't matter what other people think. And I'm saying this mostly to everybody because you know this, but it's like, I don't know how it is for you. I would always set goals for myself in drag and be like, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then they keep happening. And I'm just like, well, shit, now I got to dream bigger, which is great. It's a lovely problem to have. But it's very much like I don't care what anybody else thinks. I've gotten to live the dreams that I've wanted. And so I feel like successful in that way. So I would say a huge thing that you've gotten to do is makeup on an actual film.
Yeah.
Doing film makeup, how was that?
Okay, so before I answer that, I just want to touch base on you know what you were kind of saying leading up to that. You know, like I completely agree with Ira that like as you progress and you're kind of just trying to be the best version of yourself throughout your drag career, so many things start to happen for you that you never thought would happen. You know, like I remember being a young gay boy in my early 20s and being like, wow, I always wanted to be on a magazine cover, and then that happened. Or, oh, I want to be on the city newspaper, and then that happened. Oh, I want to be voted on the Essay Current as Best Drag Queen. I didn't quite get there, because Christy's always going to, you know, come for that, you know. But I got second place in 2021, so that was pretty cool. And then last year I got voted as San Antonio's third best urban legend here in town. So La Llorona and the Haunted Railroad Tracks beat me, but I'm in the city newspaper as
You beat the Donkey Lady?
I beat the Donkey Lady and the Manor, it's like a haunted mansion that's here as well. So that's pretty cool, you know, like just to be in local city newspapers and go down, that's like the legacy that you left behind as a local cryptid. So I'm totally cool with that. I could die happy. I want that shit at my funeral, honestly. Thank you. Thank you, 3, 4, 5 people. I appreciate you greatly.
Well, you can ask you can ask Rosa, and literally anytime I see her, I'm like, oh, that's my sister. always, like my regional. We reminisce.
The OG one, right?
Literally.
No, but going back to your question, I did got to work on a feature film. It was a Hollywood feature film. It was in 2021. It was right after COVID, I remember that. And I left for like 2.5, 3 months to go work on this film. It was pretty crazy. I never thought that drag would get me to places like that. But I was working like 16-hour days, 6 days a week on this film, doing background makeup artist, and it was pretty cool. I got to jump out of a train, so that was really cool. And then also I got to meet a lot of like Hollywood actors and actresses that I still talk to and I'm still friends with today. I actually, like right after that film, I was shooting my Dragula season 4 audition, and I stayed like a week with one of the actresses from the film in Hollywood, where she had her apartment, and she helped me produce my Dragula season 4 audition tape. So kind of just, I've always been a floater, you know, always just kind of going where the wind takes me, and that's where it took me during that time.
You're really personable, like you can vibe with anyone, and I'm very impressed with that because it doesn't feel like you're not possessed. What was the name of the movie so people can check it out?
Oh, it's called Free, Dead, or Alive, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's kind of a movie about finding refuge in America and escaping, trying to cross the border, kind of like, pretty much everything that we're going through in today. The things that we keep seeing on the news and how fucked up these policies and these laws keep getting taken into effect. But yeah, that movie was a high action film about trying to come to America to seek refuge and trying to escape from the cartel. So there's a lot of blood, a lot of action, and it's a really cool film. I like the way it came out. I had a whole movie party when it dropped on Amazon, and it was really cool.
Okay, I love that. I'm also gonna bring this up. TAINT is forever, just outside of drag, attached to me for one of my most seminal memories, just as a person.
I'm scared.
And it was my first concert ever. We got to go see Lady Gaga at the Art Rave when she came. Because that was like literally months of us into drag. We had only been doing drag maybe a few months. Or was it a year? I can't remember. Time is
I think
weird.
it was only a couple of months.
Yeah. Because I can't remember exactly when the concert
Maybe
was.
1 year or something like that.
Time's weird. It gets harder.
Since 2014, I believe.
Yeah. But I got to pick her up and we got to go. It was you, me, and Scarlett, my other sister.
How much time do we have? Because I have something I want to share.
What time is it? What are we at?
10.
It's 10 up. We got this. Go for
Right.
it.
Okay. So I do want to appreciate Iridescent here today, because Iridescent was there for me during some of my darkest times. I was 19 years old. Me and Iridescent went to. She took me to my first Pride festival, and that was they had like a HIV testing center. And she was like, "Sister, let's go get tested." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah, let's go." I'm down for it. I've never gotten tested before. And so we got tested, and then I want to say like a couple of weeks later, she called me and she's like, "Sister, did you get your results back?" And I'm like, "No, like why? What's up?" And she's like, "Oh, they called me that I'm negative." And I was like, "Okay, all right, well, should I call them?" And then Iridescent was like, "No, they'll probably be calling you shortly, or we'll see." I want to say like 3 days later, it was the day of the Lady Gaga Art Pop tour here in San Antonio. A lady just knocked at my door and she was like, is my legal name here? And I was like, yeah, this is him. She was like, "Okay, we need to sit down and talk. I just want to talk to you about your test results." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it came out negative, right?" And she sat down with me and she told me that I was HIV positive, and that shook my whole world as a 19-year-old. I was very scared, and I thought my life was over. I thought, in those moments, I thought my life was done. I thought I was dying. I didn't know anything about HIV, or I didn't know anybody with it either, and it was really scary. Ira was the only other openly queer, celebratory gay person that I knew during that time. So I called Ira and I said, Ira, can you come over here, stat? And she was like, what's the matter? And I'm like, you already know. She's like, sister, I'll go right away. And Ira, I really do feel like Ira saved my life, because I went to a really dark place when I found out, and I did not think that I'd ever be here today with the amount of accomplishments or even just still doing what I love to do here in San Antonio. Like I said, I thought my life was over, and Ira was there to pick me up that day, and she took me. She said, because I was trying to sell my Lady Gaga ticket, I didn't want to go. I was kind of like, because I only had one ticket by myself, so I was going to be sitting by myself, and I didn't want to go to that. And she said, no, bitch, you're going to get up in your best Gaga gear and put that leather-studded jacket on, and we're going to fucking go. So get ready. And she waited there for me to get ready, and then we went to go pick up another friend. And we spent the whole time together at the concert until it was time for me to go back to my seat, you know. But Lady Gaga also saved my life that day too. If it's one thing I want to do before I die is meet Lady Gaga and tell her that she saved my life that day, because she was talking about loving yourself no matter what, and being unapologetic, and that, you know, you could get the worst news ever and you still have a family, or, you know, you still got the LGBTQIA family and so on. So that really gave me the strength that I needed that day to keep pushing and fighting and making sure I got my meds, you know, when I needed them every single day. And there are, like, for anybody that's newly diagnosed with HIV, there are many programs here in San Antonio that will help you. You just got to break that barrier. Like I said, certain things here are very taboo to talk about, but that should never be one of them. You know, even like there's STD, free STD testing, and you're never alone. There's always somebody there that's going to walk you through the process, and that's going to make sure that you're okay. And it's usually somebody from our community as well.
There's B-Dates, there's the Thrive Center, there is the, what is it? The Kind Clinic.
The ARC
Oh,
Clinic.
ARC is here too. And remember, everybody, know your status. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. If you get tested and you're negative, cool, just take care of yourself. If you get tested and you're positive, cool, just take your medicine and you'll be fine and you'll be undetectable, or you'll cure it up, or you'll treat it, and everything, life goes on. It's not a good thing or a bad thing.
It's not a death sentence.
Yeah. There's so many things you're gonna, I love you so much.
No, I'm happy to be here with you today, and thank you so much for inviting me on stage with you. I adore you, and I've really, I'm also very proud of your growth as well. You know, I know that we had the little hurdles, kind of like getting older, but that's life. You know, like you know the bitches that are there for you in the end, and that are cheering you alongside in the end as well.
And I knew, and I say this with all the love in my heart, that I knew that no matter what our tips were, it wasn't that bad, because I never got blocked. I never had to refriend you.
Are you still blocked?
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, but you know what I mean? That's always like, okay, she's mad, but she's not, like,
She'll get over it.
Yeah, kind of, but it was kind of like I fucked up, but we gave as good as we got. Just a little.
That's drag sisters for you, honestly. And if you're not there with your drag sisters, be prepared, because it will happen. And if it doesn't happen, just get married or something.
Okay, just quit. You have a lot of things coming up. Let's plug all of that.
Yeah, I have a lot of things coming up. I'm starting to do more shows again. I'm booking a lot of the Dragula girls over at the Heat now on April 18th. It's next Friday. It's going to be over at the Starlighter on Fredericksburg Road, right next to the Woodlawn Theater. I'm bringing Desiree Dick from the Boulay Brothers Dragula Season 6, the most recent season. Desiree is also a sister of mine that I met at Bushwick in New York City, so it's cool to be, you know, finally doing a show here in my hometown all these years later. So I'm very happy for her that she got on this past season. We always said that we were going to be Dick and Taint on the same season, but it didn't happen. Maybe next season. But yeah, that's going to be happening next Friday at the Starlighter. I'm going to be celebrating my dirty 30, 30 years old, around the sun 30 times. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm excited. We're going to be doing like famous, iconic movies. So somebody's doing Pulp Fiction, Nosferatu, V for Vendetta, Cruel Intentions, Donnie Darko. it's gonna be a really cool show if y'all can make it out. Also starting in May, it's May 30th, TAINT from the Boulet Brothers Dragula Season 3, Season 4, and the winner of Dragula Resurrection will be at the Heat nightclub. Also joining her will be Aiden Zane from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12, and I will be hosting that show as well. And then we have a very special guest coming in June for our big Pride show, which Iridescent will be doing. And she is a winner of one of the seasons of Dragula, so I'm very excited about that as well. But yeah, a lot of cool things are coming. I'm very happy to be doing what I love to do, especially with the Dragula ghouls. How many of y'all have seen a Dragula show? A couple of y'all? All right, cool. Well, it's going to be crazy.
There'll be new fans.
Yeah, new fans, and we're going to be bringing that kind of energy to the stage here in San Antonio. So we're all really excited to be sharing that with y'all.
I'm very happy to see that you're doing stuff again because the world needs your art. Like, I mean, what was it? The Spectacular, you won an award and you hadn't been performing in a minute.
That was so crazy. It was the Spectacular Awards, and I had not been performing for 2 years, and I did not pay no mind to this competition, I'm going to be honest, or this contest, because I don't really believe too much in popularity contests or voting every day and bugging people to vote for you. But I know that's the name of the game in a lot of competitions that are drag related. But you know, I didn't pay any mind to this, and then I hear it the day of. I was already gonna go because I wanted to surprise everyone, but then I found out that I won Best Alternative, Best Outstanding Alternative Drag Artist in the city. And I was like, what the fuck, I haven't even performed for 2 years. Like, y'all still thinking of me. I thought everybody had forgotten about me already, and everybody voted for me, and I thought that was the sweetest thing ever. That literally like revived my soul. It's like the Grinch when his heart gets all fucking huge and he has a cardiac arrest. Like, I felt like that was me.
And that's called legacy. Jumping off having people vote for you and begging for it. You can vote for me for Best Podcast as a current Best MSA because I would like to win this year. And you can vote for her Best Local Legend so we can get her higher than
La Llorona, that bitch.
Girl, fuck her. We're gonna go help her find your kids later. We're gonna find you on social media.
Right, can we help you find your kids, and can you stop fucking running for this
Okay.
team so I can win?
They just take Johnson. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, MISS_TAINT, that's Miss_Taint, or you can look me up on Facebook under the same name. I'm, you know, pretty much really active on social media as well, so yeah, pretty much all. Oh, I'm also a body piercer during the day. If anyone's looking for body piercings, cute little nose piercings or anything like that, just hit me up and I got you. I'll throw you a cute little discount if you mention this. And,
she does great work. Girl, that means they're in the trenches.
Right.
That means
exactly.
that, oh. Okay. You can follow me on Instagram at @TheBubbleBabe. And if I said or did anything that offended you, you can send me a note so I can do better on my Cash App at @TheBubbleBabe69, and I will try and do better.
You can just shoot me a message and I'll just send back the middle finger emoji.
Okay. Please give a big round of applause for our special guest, Miss Tain't.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love you so much. I love you more. I'm so excited.
Bitch, we said that
at the same time. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, bye everybody. Please give it up for Miss Tain't.